ASC Lacrosse is Central PA's leading lacrosse store. Get the best selection, great service, and great prices, and receive loyalty points with every purchase at ASC Lacrosse now.
Hello and welcome to another edition of All Access, sponsored by our friends at ASC Lacrosse. But it's not just any edition of All Access, it's the playoff edition, as the Lancaster-Lebanon League boys and girls lacrosse tournaments are finally here. The semifinals will be held Tuesday, and the championship doubleheader is set for Thursday at Conestoga Valley High School. The girls' final will be at 5 p.m., with the boys' title game following at 7. With the Yellow League teams in search of championship gold, we figured this would be the perfect week to bring in someone who is an expert at finding gold, Indiana Johns.
Hi, Keith. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hi there,
First of
Indy.
all, since yesterday was Mother's Day, brought these special flowers to say hi to all the mothers out there, and especially to my mom, who loves her some Indiana Johns. Also, in case I have to fight off any intruders, have my hefty sword with me.
Don't you usually have a whip?
Right, but the thing about that is it broke last week as I was swinging across a river in Tanzania. It snapped and I fell right into the water. Had to fight off a crocodile with my bare hands. I won, but I lost a thumb. Just kidding. Anyways, where was I? I heard there's a treasure hunt going on back here, and Indiana Johns loves him some treasure hunts, so he made the trip to Lancaster.
Well, it's great to have you here, but I got to tell you, the only treasure we have that you're going to find is the Yellow League championships.
So there's no treasure map.
Well, sort of. The Yellow League semis are on Tuesday, so let's start with the girls' side, where the semifinals will be played at Warwick High School. At 5 p.m., second seed at Hempfield will take on the third-seeded Lancaster Triad, as we call them here. And following that, top-seeded Manheim Township faces fourth-seeded Elizabethtown. So, Indiana Johns, any predictions on who finds the gold?
Well, Keith, Elizabethtown has had quite the turnaround season in the last few weeks. The Bears began the first half of the season 4-5 overall, then won its next 5 games, including impressive wins over Lampeter Strasburg and Penn Manor to get that final playoff spot. But Manheim Township has been dominant this season, so I see the Blue Streaks not having a problem with the Bears. That's a good thing, because Indiana Johns hates Bears.
I thought you hated snakes.
You must be confusing me with that other impersonator, Jones. Where was I? Hempfield began the year strong by winning 8 of its first 9 games before losing 3 of its final 8 games down the stretch. Now, part of this is maybe attributed to the absence of Penn State recruit Sammy Helgeson, who has been hampered with a nagging leg injury most of the season. For the Cougars, they come into this game having won 6 of their last 7 games. And I think this game against Hempfield will be a good one, but whoever wins will still have to face Manheim Township. And those Blue Streaks beat the other 3 tournament teams by a combined score of 55-10 during the regular season matchups. So Indiana Johns is predicting Manheim Township finds the gold.
Okay, well, let's move on to the boys bracket then. Tuesday's semifinals will be played at Penn Manor High School. At 5 p.m., number 2 Hempfield takes on number 3 Lampeter Strasburg, with top-seeded Manheim Township facing either Garden Spot or Warwick at 7. That number 4 seed is still being fleshed out based on what happens in the games today. So, Indy, who you got?
Yeah, and did you say Pioneer against the Black Knight? Because if so, you know Indiana Johns would have to favor a Pioneer in this matchup. They are, after all, explorers. But my good buddy John Walk was at last week's regular season matchup between these 2 teams, and he told me it was a close game before Hempfield pulled away down the stretch and woke up and ended up beating LS pretty handily. So moving forward, I think Hempfield has what it takes to dispatch of LS, and it'll be the most entertaining game of the 2 semifinal matchups. And the other game, as you said, it depends on what happens Monday. But it's worth noting here that if Garden Spot ends up beating Elizabethtown, they get that 4th and final playoff spot. That would be the first postseason berth of any kind for the Spartans. Whereas, if Warwick ends up making in, they played Manheim Township well early on. But Indiana Johns, either way, sees Manheim Township winning Tuesday and going on to find the gold on Thursday.
Well, thank you, Indy. Hey, before we get out of here, I got to ask you, coming up soon will be the search for the District 3 Lacrosse Championship trophy.
Really?
Should we expect you back for that adventure?
Well, I'm like a bad penny. I always turn up.
Well, thank you. That'll do it. For Indiana Johns, I'm Keith Schweigert. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.